So explain to us what libertarian is.
I hear that all the time. Let me tell you what libertarian is. Libertarian is someone who says you can be as liberal or as conservative as you want to be. Just don't force others to be like you.
Got it.
That's what we are all about. We are all about long-term solutions, not short-term solutions. We're all about changing culture, not just changing law. Law, we have to remember something. At the end of almost every single law is a guy or a gal with a gun who will put you in a cage. And if you don't want to go in that cage, he or she is going to kill you. That means you only use law when it really matters, not just because I'm angry, not because I don't like you, not because you should do some activity I think you shouldn't do, or whatever the case may be. It's only for important things like life and liberty and property and things like that. That's when you use violence. That's when you use force. That's what libertarians are all about. Welcome to Libertarians Drinking Coffee Live. Yes, we are here again, and the brand is strong. Still drinking coffee, hanging out with libertarians. I say this all the time because I want you to remember, while this absolutely is a presidential year, and we should care about the presidential candidates and go Joe Jorgensen 2020, there's also, on top of that, hundreds of libertarians running throughout this country locally, and we've got to also support them too, not just our presidential candidate, her obviously, and all the rest also. So please like, comment, share, let people know this is actually happening so that others will see it. We have to grow our media so we can get around that media blockade or that blackout that keeps happening. So please like, comment, and share. Let your friends know that this matters. I am very lucky today. Today, I get to have someone who is a hardcore worker, who is literally on the job right now while he's here talking to us, an over the road trucker, what I used to be back in the day. Absolutely, man running for Kentucky State House, James Toller. James, how are you, sir?
Doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to have you. And for more information on him, head over to his Facebook page, Toller4KY78, and you will see what he is doing locally. I got to ask you the question. You're an owner-operator. You're out there hustling, trying to make a living. Why run for State House, and why now?
Yeah, it's, been in the trucking industry now for about 10 years. Owning my own business and things like that. We've been in a fight with the government for quite some time, and trying to get some deregulations and things done. And
yep.
and it's just clear to see that the government, unless you have money, you're a lobbyist and you have money, they don't really want to give you any time of day to listen to your argument, to listen to what you have to say.
Yep.
And so I decided this year, you know what? It's time for the people to start getting their voice back into government, because that's really what it's meant to be. It's not meant for a government to overrun and power just so they don't have to talk to you because you don't have money. So that's really why I decided to run for office this year.
I love that you've decided that you've had enough and you got to make something happen. I love it. And I love the fact that you can do this on the road, right? This is showing that we can actually do this on the road. I love this idea. It's so good. Now, we could probably talk about the ways that the government, local and federal and state, are hammering small business all day long. But I don't want to punish everybody by being here for 6 hours. So instead, let me ask you, are there 1, 2, or 3 issues that kind of come to the top for you in your race?
Oh, sure. It's really bad in the state of Kentucky, as well as other states, but it's really particularly bad in the state of Kentucky. And being a libertarian, I think we all know that taxes are a big issue and a big problem all over the country, and we really don't like that.
Yes.
Taxes in the state of Kentucky, you're taxed on every single thing. I mean, you name it, we got a tax for it. So we need to work on eliminating some taxes, as well as reducing other taxes.
Sure.
And, I look to eliminate a couple. Do I do that right off the bat, like real quick, like I need action tomorrow? It probably never going to happen. So, if I have to take baby steps, the government has taken our rights away. They've taken our constitutional rights away just a little bit at a time. So
Yes.
we can't go and take it all back at once. We have to take our time and do just like they did with us. We've got to take back little bits at a time.
Sure.
So, I'm up for that.
Do you have an idea on what like your first steps might be? Have you decided yet? Like, you know what, my first step is this, or you're not there yet?
Yeah, well, I've kind of decided that we need to eliminate property tax.
Property tax, okay.
And the state income tax.
Wow.
Property tax, if we can't get it completely eliminated, let's at least say, okay, let's negotiate, because that's what we need to do. You can't go in and be non-negotiable
Right.
on anything. You've got to be able to be negotiable and just say, okay, here's my bottom line. Let's try to get there. So we can even start out.
Hold on, I'll be clear. You're saying you want to go there saying up front, I want to get rid of all property tax. But you're okay saying let's step it down until it's gone. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, present it as, go up to another representative and say, okay, here's what I want to do. I want to eliminate the property tax. Well, I don't know that we can do it all at once. Well, okay, here's my bottom line. Let's make the bottom line at once you hit retirement, you don't have to pay property tax.
Oh,
because after you retire, most people are on a fixed budget.
Right.
So why make people pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a year when you're on a fixed budget? Then they're going to have to worry about losing their home, their land, and all that. So let's at least get to the point to where we can say, okay, you're retired, so let's just drop the property tax for the, at the retirement age and above, and then go from there.
You know what? You'll wind up drawing more retirees into the state, right? And they're going to be spending money. They're going to have pensions from other states. They're going to start coming to Kentucky because there's no property tax for them. They'll buy up property, which is kind of going to like that idea. So you're actually going to wind up spurring some commerce by bringing people in who are going to say, oh, wait, I'm a retiree. Let's retire to Kentucky. You can actually create retirement communities, and it's a whole nother way of spurring commerce. I like that idea. And on top of it, and what I'm seeing, James, is people who retire tend to vote a lot more than people who aren't retired. So you're going to get a bunch of votes this way, too. This is not a bad idea. You're killing like 2-3 birds with one stone. You're lowering taxes. You're encouraging people to come to retire in Kentucky, bringing in commerce, and you're getting people to vote for you. Jay, brilliant. I love the idea. I love this.
So, yeah, I mean, let's go with it. Taxes are that's the biggest cuss word anybody could say to me while I'm campaigning. I hate the word. It should never be out there. It should never even have to be discussed. So let's go with it.
I love this. And let me go one step further. I mean, if you're able to get this to actually happen to where retirees don't pay property tax and people see an increase in commerce, you might be able to keep going down, right? I remember someone once told me an idea, and I don't know if you like this idea, but someone told me an idea that once you're done paying your mortgage, you also shouldn't pay property taxes either. So you can maybe even move to that later if you wanted to. I mean, if your state got behind the first piece, the second piece might come even after that. You can even do that too.
That's right. Yeah, because, that's the question I ask everybody all the time. Do you own your home?
Right.
And the response is yes. Okay, well, really you don't, because you continuously owe that property tax.
Yes.
If you miss that one payment every year, well, not only do they humiliate you and put your name real big in the paper that you are delinquent on your property tax, they go and they take your home from you.
Yes.
They sell it for probably about what the property tax is and don't give you the option to buy it back.
Absolutely.
And so you really don't ever own your home when you have a property tax in place.
Wow. All right. I love that idea. Let's hunt it over. You said that also you were talking about the income tax.
Yes.
How do we deal with that? I mean, if that's a big chunk of your budget, and when I was running for New York, the income tax is a huge part of our budget in New York State. Out of about $190 or so billion budget, it was something like $40 billion. It was a massive chunk of our budget. So my plan for that was my plan was to phase it out over 4 years. Do you have a plan similar, or is yours just ended, or do you have a plan for that? Do you have a cool one like you have for property tax?
Well, what I'm seeing is we can eliminate the income tax straight up without phases, but if it needs to be, we can phase it out. Okay. But my argument to that is, we can completely eliminate the income tax, and I know that they're going to say, well, how are we going to compensate for the loss the states? Basketball is freaking huge. Kentucky, their basketball program's just awesome. So why can we not bring in sports betting, casinos, things like that?
I like that.
To help bring in more money from, bring in more money to the state that way to cover and probably make the state a little bit more money than what the income tax would.
Man, I love what you're saying. Again, you're doing the same thing, James. You're saying, let's remove this tax, but then let's increase commerce to make up for it. You're saying, let's bring in casinos, let's bring in sports betting to get that commerce going. So then if we lose the income tax, it doesn't matter. I love that idea.
That's right. And it really goes along. I mean, everything that I've got going, actually, at the end of the whole thing, it all comes up to the same solution. And that same solution is creating more jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. And
in the process of eliminating things.
And what's funny is, people right now are saying that there's a money problem. We got to get money from the government. There really isn't a money problem. It's a commerce problem. If we get people spending back and forth and having jobs and buying services and buying products and servicing each other, then we grow the commerce and the money comes. We don't have to just keep printing the money. I see what you're saying. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. In the process of, in the process of everything, it's saving the general population of Kentucky, your everyday working class Kentuckians or blue collar Kentuckians, however you want to say it. Mm-hmm. And it's saving them money in the process, but it's also, in the end result, it is gaining the state money
absolutely,
to be able to operate as a state.
And it's also, it's voluntary, which I love, right? John's teasing. He says, love it. I can spend my property tax and income tax money on blackjack. That totally works for me. And yes, John, if that's where you want to spend your money, go ahead. Up to you, right? That still goes into the budget. It still goes into commerce. Or you can spend it on buying a new car, or you can spend it on, sending your kids to a private school, or you can spend it on, buying another house, or whatever you want to spend it on, to include blackjack. I'm with you. I completely agree with that idea. I love that. So, James, let me go to the next step. You mentioned taxes, and you got some good plans there. I love both of those. Is there another issue, or that's kind of your number one, or is there another one that's right behind that?
No, we have I guess a job problem.
Okay.
We need to create more jobs, as well as being able to keep job retention.
People in the county.
And exactly. Losing businesses is never a good thing.
Absolutely.
Whenever it comes, it's just not. I mean, in the long run, it hurts everything.
Sure.
To lose even the smallest business puts an economic impact on everything.
So in your district right now, is it very rural? Is it very urban? Is there a lot of businesses? Not many businesses? What does your district look like?
Well, the big business that I do have in my district is the Toyota motor manufacturing plant in Georgetown, which is Scott County, and they employ roughly altogether probably about 15,000 employees.
It's a lot of jobs. A lot of jobs.
And then, but other than that, we've got a lot of royal farmland.
Got it. Okay.
You know, in most of my district, just because it's a, you know, it's just that type of the area in Kentucky. Sure. And by doing when we talk about jobs, we can go and create more jobs and everything with the farm businesses. And the key word
absolutely.
and the key word there is businesses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, farming, no matter how you look at it, when you come down to it, it's a small business. Whether it's a dairy farm, you know, whether it's a dairy farm, tobacco, whatever, every kind of farm is a business.
Yeah.
And you have to run it as one. So, you know,
states don't look at it that way, right? I have the same problem in upstate New York, right? Upstate New York, a lot of farms, and the state doesn't look at them as small businesses. I love what you're saying. You're saying the state should recognize this is a small business, treat it as such.
Yes, they can recognize the farmers, the farming community, and all the farmers in it. They can recognize them as a small business. Now, what does that do?
James, I'm losing you. Are you going in a tunnel or something? I think I may be losing James. So let me chat a bit while he's getting back on. The idea of having farms being treated as a small business is a great. I'm glad he's on board with that concept. I talked about this when I was running for governor a long time ago, right? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I was talking about this idea that we want to treat farmers like small businesses. This is the way that we can get, look, the biggest piece I see is farmers want to keep people on their farm, workers, family members, all the people they love, they want to keep on the farm. But if the farm is treated like a farm, some people don't want to work on a farm. But when you treat the farm like a business, now all the extra parts of the business are there, right? So the daughter doesn't want to work on a farm, but she loves operations. Well, guess what? When you start creating a way for the family to move that product some way, either through internet or direct to the retail, wholesale to retail, or direct to the individual person. Now she wants to stay on board. The son doesn't like being in a farm, but the son likes marketing. Well, the farm needs marketing. All of a sudden, now you're keeping your family and those you love on that farm. The people who are getting educated, they aren't just leaving. Are you there, James? Do I have you back? I'm not sure if I have James back or not. I see him, but I can't hear him. So I was just going off on the farm piece, Jeff. I'm going to keep going down a little bit that. If you can come back on I'm happy. The concept that James is talking about is, of course, keeping the people who get educated, who are savvy, who spend their time and money learning about the farm and other things, to come back and stay in your district. And that's the piece that James is talking about. If we treat farms like businesses, then they'll want to stay on the farm. They'll want to stay in a district. Jobs will grow in the district. Commerce grows in the district. And now you don't have to change what the district is. You can retain your rural or your suburban or whatever it is way of life, but you can still have commerce and you can still have jobs. And I think that's what James is trying to say. And I'm on board. I love the idea. James, are you there now? It is awesome to see a libertarian running for office in Kentucky. I'm not really sure if James is back yet. Yes, I'm not sure. So yes, and we do in Kentucky, there are a slew of candidates. There are a bunch of them. Please head over to perry4ky.com/candidates and you will see them. Aaron's talking about giving people property tax relief. Absolutely. You will find they will spend more. It's how it works. If you give people tax relief, they spend more. They spend more, we increase commerce. So, James, are you back? James, are you back? Do I have you again? I can't hear you. Are you there? I've lost him. I'm sorry, guys. I'm losing James. He's great. Oh, I'm trying to come back. I want him to. James, can I hear you? Can you hear me now? I can't.
Yes, sir.
Yes, awesome. All right. So I basically just riffed up on your idea of treating farmers like small businesses. I love that. So we got taxes, we got farmers. Do we have another one?
That's my three biggest.
Okay.
The taxes, the jobs, and the infrastructure.
Okay.
Let's we can talk about that.
Okay.
You know, a lot in Kentucky. We have a lot of low-lying roads throughout the whole state, and a lot of them flood. And just about a little over a month ago, actually about 20 minutes from my house, in Bath County, we actually had an Amish family to get swept away by floodwaters over a road, ended up killing 5 of their children. Children. So what can we do? We can go and we can build bridges over those low-lying areas. Well, yeah, I understand that they cost money, but as you know, me and you were discussing, you know, we can go and say, and just for instance, go to Toyota and say, how would you like to have your name on a bridge?
I love that idea.
You know, go to businesses and let a bridge be named after them. And that would in return be like, okay, what's that going to cost? Well, it's going to cost you this. You got a great looking bridge that's not flooding, not causing any harm to any public. And then you can go back and there you go. You got your bridge at a very, very low cost, if anything, to the state. The state's not fronting the bill for that bridge. Therefore, in return, you don't have to make it a toll bridge, which I hate anyway.
Yep.
You know, so, you know, there's just ways that you can go about this stuff to really say, well, will this work? Well, sure, it'll work. You just cannot be afraid to go out and talk to these big businesses, or maybe even a local business. You know, you can't be afraid to do that.
Yep.
You know,
you could even make it in theory, right? You could make even like a group of farms that have a collective that have voluntarily got together as a collective of farms. You could have a business association, people who voluntarily got together, right? And say, hey, this is the, you know, this area county farmers bridge, right? You could even do that. You could rotate it every 5 or 10 years. I mean, whatever. That bridge could literally be income for the state over the course of X number of years without taxing. People would voluntarily give money to put their name on that bridge, and you're now funding the state through people choosing to give money to that. I love the idea. I think I got to tell you, James, the 3 ideas you brought up, none of them increase taxes. All of them decrease taxes and still give service. I think it's amazing. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, the bridge thing there is just like adopt a highway. You know, it's pretty much the same scenario.
Right.
You know, another thing that we was talking about, you and myself, on the infrastructure was the potholes. You know, don't go out. You know, how do you fix that? You know, I say you don't just put in loose blacktop and not do anything with it, because that's just not going to hold. You know, tires are going to run over it and just throw that stuff out of there. So, you know, you go to these businesses and say, you know what, these roads lead up to your business. You know, these roads is what brings your business to you. How would you feel about maybe putting in so much per year to make sure that road is helped and well maintained? You're not firing anybody. You're still keeping your state highway department, so you're not losing any jobs. You're just helping to make their job easier. Now they're going to say, well, you know, that's just going to cost us money. What's in return for us, because we're still going to get our business? Well, you might get that business, but what if we help you get more business?
Yes.
you know, what if we take the initiative to help you gain more business from this? You know, so we can say, okay, if you do this, we could put signs all up and down that part of the highway with your logo, with your business name on that sign, saying that you help maintain this road.
Love it. Love it. And again, you're talking about increasing commerce. It's amazing. You got a lot of good ideas. Obviously, you care about your district. I guess the concern I have is, you know, with everyone afraid of the COVID crisis and all this stuff, how do we make impact? I mean, in your race right now, is this a 2-person race, 3-person race, 4-person race in your race?
It's a 2-person. It's myself and the incumbent,
Nice.
which is a Republican. So we don't have a Democrat challenger in the race this year.
Nice. So you'll get some of the I don't like that guy votes, and you'll get the I like the Toller votes. You'll get both of those.
That's right. That's right.
So
and
how
you know,
do you
it's
impact to get more of those votes for you. What are you going to do? Or what can we do for you to make more impact to get more of those I like Toller votes?
Well, I've done some things. It's like, for instance, we just had a flood last week in my district that flooded a lot of places, you know, in a couple of different counties in my district there. And it was kind of funny. I kind of laughed about it. I kind of giggled about it a little bit because I went to one of the counties and I just seen people moving stuff out. So I just jump out, you know, hey, let me help you out here.
Wow.
And while I was helping them out, getting stuff out, you know, so they could save their stuff, we got talking. And they're like, so you're running for a state rep in this area? I was like, yeah. I said, I am. And they're like, are you a Democrat, Republican? I said, neither one. And they're like, what? I'm like, no. I said, I'm running under a libertarian ticket. And somebody was like, well, what's a libertarian? Well, one of the ladies there stood up and just flat out told him what a libertarian was. And I was like, daggone, you're pretty daggone good. She said, so let's talk. Well, I ended up taking 7 votes from my opponent.
So good.
Just by doing that. And the funny part is, after I go about 100 feet and I turn the corner and there's my opponent's house.
I love the idea.
I like
you
this.
are out there literally with the people, getting people to understand, because for that 1 or 2 or 3 people that you got, they're going to tell 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and you're going to find one of them who's going to tell like 100 people, right? You're going to find a bunch of them who are going to tell others. I love the idea. It's time consuming, but I think you're right. It's the way to make the impact, particularly for those who are like, why bother voting? There's never anybody else who's gonna, who's gonna win. You're the one saying, no, I'm here. I'm the guy who lives in this district, who cares about you, who's hustling every day just like you are, trying to make a living. And I understand the work that you do because I'm doing it too. I love that.
Well, as I said at the beginning of the show, you know, I want to be a representative for the people. You know, I don't want to be like the politicians are nowadays and the career politicians. I don't want to go in there and be a representative for the government. Whenever you vote for me as a representative, you're not voting for me to be a representative for the government. You're voting for me to be a representative and a voice for you.
Absolutely.
So, you know, that's what I'm working
towards. James. I think
you
forgot that.
Yeah, you know, the Constitution don't start out as we the government. It starts out as we the people. And, you know, and not only have we forgotten that, the government has forgotten that.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Because they have gotten way too big and way too powerful. And that's why they get by with scaring the crap out of everybody all the time.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Wow. So, all right. That's good. I like that. I know you're running to win. I see you're out there hustling. You're trying to make impact. You're trying to deal with the fear that's out there. What about the fear of the idea that people are going to be afraid that, Trump is going to blame the Democrats. Biden's going to blame the Republicans. Everybody's going to blame everybody. Everyone's going to scare everybody. You can't vote red because they're going to kill us. You can't vote blue because they're going to kill us. How do we get around that fear? Is it the same thing? Is it retail politics like you're talking about? Is there something else?
The way to get rid of fear is pretty much using your mouth.
Okay.
Getting out there and talking to people and let them know, don't believe the hype that the government's feeding you. Don't believe the hype that the media is feeding you. If you let them know that the media is actually, I hate to say lying to them to make them be scared, but that's almost like what it is.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So,
and the media is not helping. The media is not helping here.
No, the media is not even close to helping. I mean, if this country right now, if all the citizens in this country right now would go and turn their TVs off and not watch them for a week,
yep,
and then come back and start watching it, they would look back on that week and say, you know what? I felt better this past week.
Yes.
Than I have forever, because they just want to pretty much. I mean, you've been in the military. I've been in the military, different branches, so we can crack jokes all day long about each other. But
yes,
it's just like we say a lot in the military, going through basic training. They're brainwashing us.
Yeah. So
it's like social conditioning.
I want to go one step further, though, here, right? I want to make sure that we understand something. For you to make the impact you want to get past that fear, to get out there and keep talking, it's going to cost some money and it's going to cost some time. So for those of you in Kentucky who are seeing this, who want change, who care about this, I need you to go there to his Facebook page. It's right there, right? It is Toller4KY78. Go there, check him out, click there, find out he has a place where you can donate. If you can give any money, if you've got time, if you've got energy, if you can do something. If you can drop them 5, 10, 20, $100. If you're in a good spot, drop them a couple $100 if you got it. Drop whatever money you can drop. Give them what you can. If you can't do it, no worries. Maybe you're not in a good spot financially. He needs volunteers. He needs people to get on social media. He needs people to post this stuff. He needs people to like, comment, and share. He needs people to do door hangers, people to do sign waves, people to help drive him. He needs all those things. So if you've got the cash, if that's where you are in your position right now, go over there and throw him some money. It's good. He needs it. If you don't have the cash, no worries. You can show up. He needs your help anyway.
And if you want an easier way, if you want to make a donation to the campaign, you can just simply text KY Freedom. So it's all together, KYFREEDOM to 22525 and make a donation to my campaign.
What's that number again? 22525?
Yes, sir.
22525. Look at that. You can easily do it if you want to all day. No worry. And yep, Jacob's on your side already. 100%. We got to make sure we do that. We can absolutely move forward 100%. All right. So look, is there another, do you have another way of measuring a win if you don't win? I hope you win, but if you don't win, what's the way? Is there a way of measuring what an actual victory is?
Well, there's really a couple of ways to this that I see it. That's to look at, I guess, maybe the total votes and percentage. So, I really do firmly believe that we're going to win this race. Okay, but if we don't win this race, it's going to be by a very narrow margin.
Okay.
I mean, so I would say if I did not win this race, to say that I got a win out of it as far as the number wise goes, I would have to say within 3%.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
So if we can get within 3%, if we don't win, and remind you again, we're going to win the race anyway.
It's a two-person race. This is winnable.
Right, exactly, most definitely. And on the other hand, the other thing that I can say that would be a win, a victory for myself, my campaign team, is to really get the word out there that there are people out here that stands for the Constitution 100% and really wants true liberty back back in the country and the state, and actually get that word out there to make people start thinking that.
Of getting 3%, right? If you came that close, my opinion was if you came in within 10%, within 5%, even that, in my view, that's going to make your opponent realize he better start doing something right, because if he doesn't win this time, you might win next time. And I think you're going to move him closer to you if you come even close. I mean, am I wrong here?
No, you're not wrong at all. You know, if I can get within 10%, he's definitely going to know that this libertarian's taking this serious. This libertarian's not out here to run just a paper ballot. No, he's going to know that I mean business, and he knows probably in the next 2 years that he might not have a seat in that Capitol building. Because I won't back down from it. If I get beat, I won't hang my head from it.
I love that.
You know, because I will, you know, I might not think about it for a couple of weeks or whatever, but after that, I'll start back on the next campaign. You know, it's
so good.
We'll get out there and we'll hammer. We'll do a lot of door knocking, the whole 9 yards, and we'll definitely do a good campaign. I really think that if there was a poll out there right now, I really think it would be close.
I love it.
Just because over the last year, my opponent has voted for some things that wasn't very popular to be voted for.
Good. So
that kind of turns some people.
I love that you're going to be able to put some of that on him and get some attention. It's amazing. So James, I want to say thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it, taking time out of your day. I know you're literally hustling for your dollars, like we all are out there trying to make stuff happen. Thank you so much for doing that. I know you got somebody else driving for you while you're doing it. Amazing. Guys, if you care and you want to help, head over to his Facebook page. Do that. Make that happen. It is important. If you want to text them some money, go over there. KY Freedom 22525. Text over there. Make a donation. Otherwise, head on over to his Facebook page. Sign up to be a volunteer. This is a winnable race, guys. We can make this happen. We absolutely can make this happen. Thank you so much, James. I will talk to you soon.
Thank you, Larry.